In this session, we will see how to create a virtual service using request response pairs. Before that, we'll see a live how a manual functional testers will test these kind of features. For this, Lisa provided one sample application called Lisa Bank. For that, the URL is here: http colon forward slash slash. Since my servers are running in localhost, it's a local host. Otherwise, you can give the server's name, and 8080 is the port number, ITKO hyphen examples. So I'll open that. Here it's already open that one. And manually, if you look at that user examples, here there's a list users. So you will see all different users listed here. You can do add user by clicking add user button, and you can delete user by clicking delete user and select the user name. This is typically a manual tester will do. A service tester, you will have request response pairs or service RESTful service details. Then he will use SOAP or Postman, any kind of tool, and they will do the testing with that. Now we'll see how do we create these virtual services using DevTest Service Virtualization tool. For that, the basic pre-requirement for this is you have to have the request response pairs. The request response pairs, I have it in this location. I'll open and show you. So you have to go to your project location, and it's always a good practice to keep the file under data folder. I'll open it here again. File, open. So applications, CA, and DevTest. In this, since we are working on examples project, examples under data, I have created a folder called RR Pairs. So here I have two sets of request response pairs. One is create user request. This is the standard notation. When you are giving hyphen req, then only Lisa will understand, DevTest will understand this is the request file. And response file, you have to give it as a hyphen rsp. Okay, I'll open one of this request. You can see that. This is how the request file is there. And obviously you can see the response file. Create request is a put method, so you don't get any response. Whereas list users, you will get a response like this. Okay. Now I have the request response pairs already. Now we will go ahead and create a virtual service using request response pairs. So open your DevTest workstation and go to virtual services. Then right click here. You have create new virtual service image and select from request response pairs. Then give the image name as POC2 RR pairs, or you can give REST RR dot VSI, and you can copy this entire one, paste it here, and remove I, put M here, which is VSM virtual service model, and remove the folder images. Okay, now treat all the transactions as stateless and go to next. Now here you need to select the request response pairs directory. So if you have more files in the directory, it will select all those request response pairs. Then you can remove unwanted pairs. So this is the one I chose it. And the transport protocol is HTTPS. Then you need to configure this transfer protocol. So right now we are planning to record this in 18106. I think 7. The port is, if it is not available, it will throw an error. That's a 8107 is the port, and I'll go and say that localhost, and you can leave it 80 or 8080, doesn't matter because it doesn't consider that information at all. Then click on finish and go to next. Since the data inside that is an XML, Lisa automatically recognized the request response pair and it created for you an XML data protocol handlers. Then go to the next. So that's all, and I'm going to select to open the service image and generate the service model. Finish this and you can see this service image and service model. Here is a RESTful service list users. This is a create user. Now once it is done, I'm going to deploy this particular VSM onto the server. Let's go ahead and select that pivot2 and right click this, and now select deploy to the server. It is already deployed. Just to verify that, go to DevTest portal and monitor. Click on virtual service environment and click on virtual service. And now you see that 8107, it's already deployed and running. At this time, there is no transactions. Now, how do we test this particular service is working or not? Go to your workstation, and here I already created a few steps for you. You can go to here. I created one RESTful service step. Here I'll select 8107 because that's the port we are listening, and we are given like it's a get. Automatically you can select get and give the localhost :8107 / examples control and users. This is the full path. Okay, and save it, and here also change it to 8107. Now for create user, the content is here. You can change it whatever you want here, doesn't matter because it's a virtual service. You have to understand virtual service is really, it will not create the data in the backend, but when you're doing your test, it will show that yes, I have created and this is what the response, and like that. Now I'm going to save this guy and I'm going to run it now. So we are running now against 8107. This is ITR, interactive test response. I'm going executing next step by step. Here is, I got the response. Okay, this response is coming from our virtual service. Now I'll click the next step, and the create user is also successfully completed since there is no response and you don't get any data. Now if you want to modify this response and give some valid data, go to your image and select the meta and go to the response